Disclaimer: I have a pet parakeet, so excuse extra noise. Chapter 1, Seekers, Spirits in the Stars by Erin Hunter. Ujurek's legs ached as he tried to concentrate on just putting one paw in front of another. He and his friends seemed to have been trudging along the endless ice forever, though he knew that only a few sunrises had passed since they had escaped from the flat faces near the oil rig. Glancing over his shoulder, he could see that his three companions looked just as tired as he felt. Toklo, the big brown bear, shambled along with his head down. Lusa stumbled after him as if she hardly knew where she was anymore, her small shape a black dot against the endless white. Ujurek knew that they would have to keep a close eye on her, for fear that she would sink back into the long sleep. Even Kailak, who was more at home on the ice than any of them, padded along with a grim expression. All around them, the ice had been carved and twisted by the wind into strange shapes, which sometimes stretched over their heads into the sky. At first they had played hide-and-seek among them. Ujurek let out a small huff of amusement as he remembered how good Lusa was at hiding in spite of her black pelt. Sometimes they would slide down the frozen drifts or look for shapes that reminded them of animals. Toklo had growled against the ice pillar that he thought looked like Shotika, the grizzly who attacked him at Great Bear Lake. But we're too tired for games now, Ujurek thought. Too tired for anything except this endless log. His heart sank farther as he made out a frozen ridge across their path, a wall of ice that disappeared into the distance on either side. Now what? Toklo grumbled, trudging up as Ujurek slowed to a halt. Don't tell me we have to climb that. We do, Ujurek replied. He could feel that they were drawing closer and closer to the spirit of his mother, and the tugging of his paws was too strong to be ignored. This is the way we must go. Once the big grizzly would have argued with him. Now he just let out a snort of disgust. I was afraid you were going to say that. But how? Lusa asked, stifling a paw. She and Kailak had plodded up next to them. It's too high and smooth. Ujurek glanced at Kailak for advice, but the white bear only shook her head in confusion. There were no ridges like this where I lived with Nisa and Tyquik. I'll go first, Toklo announced. I'll try to scrape some paw holds in the ice for the rest of you. Without waiting for others to respawn, he began clawing his way up the slippery slope. Ice splinters showered down as he dug his claws into the surface. Lusa crouched and wrapped her paws over her head. Hey, that stings, she protested. Come on, you'll be fine. Kailak nudged the small black bear to her paws. You go next, and I'll give you a boost. Working her shoulders underneath Lusa, the white bear heaved her upward. Lusa scrambled up the slope in Toklo's wake, struggling to thrust her paws into the holes that the bigger bear had made. She let out a startled yelp as she lost her grip and began to slide down again, her forepaws splaying out against the ice, while her hind paws scrabbled frantically. Ujurek let out a sigh of relief as he saw her drive her claws into a gap into the surface and start climbing in. You next, Kailak suggested. I'll keep watch for danger. Ujurek agreed and thought, though he wasn't sure they had much to fear in this desolate landscape. He almost felt that they were the only living creatures left in the world. By now, Toklo had reached the crest of the ridge and turned to call back his companions. Come on, it's easier on the other side. Your Jack climbed quickly, his paws strengthening but by the feeling that his mother was watching over him, and reached the top of the ridge just behind Lusa. The small black bear flopped down, panting. I thought we might be able to see land from up here, she said, but it's just more ice. Gazing ahead, your Jack saw the ridge of his side sloped down gradually to an ice plain with broken, choppy surface like a frozen sea. The sky was covered with clouds, brightening them to a milky radiance where the sun was trying to break through, and it was impossible to tell where the land ended and the sky began. We just have to keep going, your Jack said. As soon as Kailak arrived, shaking ice chips from her fur, they set down the slope. I'm so tired, my paws are falling off, Toko grumbled, patting at your Jack's side, and my belly thinks my throat's been clawed out. Your Jack pushed his snout into his friend's shoulder fur. We'll stop to eat soon, he responded, trying to sound encouraging. Kailak will hunt for us. She's good at that now, Toko admitted. Hey, Kailak, what about a nice fat seal? Sure, Kailak raised her head, looking proud that Toko was relying on her to provide for them. Why don't you three rest while I go and look for a seal hole? She paused, swinging her head around and sniffing. Your Jack guessed he was trying to sense the best place to start searching. He plodded off across the ice. Your Jack guessed he was trying to sense the best place to start searching. He plodded off across the ice. Your Jack led the way to a twisted mass of snow that would give them some shelter against the wind that scored the frozen plain. Lusa curled up in a hollow, wrapped one paw over her nose, and closed her eyes. Toko crouched beside her, scanning her anxiously. I hope she's not falling through the long sleep, he muttered. Your Jack nodded, though Lusa was more cheerful and active since they escaped from the flat faces. He couldn't help worrying, just as Toko did. Okay, guys, I have to end this video here for some reasons because I have to do some other stuff for my other YouTube channels. Go follow Awesome Anime 1 AJ and go follow Fab Llama Animations and subscribe to this channel here. Sorry my voice is so weird. I have bad allergies and my freaking birds are really annoying and they won't shut up even though they're supposed to be asleep. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. This is the first half of the first chapter of the 6 books in Seekers, and I recommend you guys. I am currently at chapter 5, so I recommend you guys to go and get this book at any library or just buy it because it's such a good book. And I love Erin Hunter. Honestly, she's my favorite author. I love Warriors and all her books. And thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.